I I really don't have the words to describe this year's Royal Rumble. For a multitude of reasons. For one, for one, the men's Royal Rumble match, we expected something a little bit different. Unfortunately, that different that we had in mind did not come to fruition. But another thing was one of the matches that was on the card was it ended in the saddest way possible. But what match am I talking about? Well, we'll be getting to that a little later on, but for those who did not watch the Royal Rumble, here are the results of the 2026 Royal Rumble. I believe this would be the 39th annual Royal Rumble. And it kicks off with the women's Royal Rumble match. And you guys already know the rules. The participants who drew numbers 1 and 2 start the match. Every 90 seconds, another one enters. Eliminations can occur when you're thrown over the top rope. Both feet touch the floor. Last one standing, main events, WrestleMania. Honestly, the women's Royal Rumble match was a lot different than what we were expecting, because thinking on how stacked the women's division is, not just on Raw and SmackDown, but also on NXT, it is as stacked as it comes. And the order of entry might just shock you, especially with the ones who drew numbers 1 and 2, were the former tag team champions Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, in that order. Flair drew number 1, Bliss drew number 2. The rest of the entries went as follow: Kiana James, Nia Jax, Ivy Nile, Lola Vice from NXT, Candice LeRae, Jordynne Grace, Becky Lynch, the Women's Intercontinental Champion, Sol Ruca from NXT, Roxanne Perez, Maxine Dupree, I would say Natalia, but we're finally starting to see the AAA version of Natalia in the form of Natty, Liv Morgan, Lash Legend, Zelina Vega, Raquel Rodriguez, Chelsea Green, Julia, the current Women's United States Champion, Io Sky, one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions, Asuka, Rhea Ripley, the other half of the Tag Team Champions, Bayley, JC Jane, the current NXT Women's Champion, Nikki Bella, Lyra Valkyria, Kalani Jordan from NXT, Kairi Sane, and get this, and entry number 29, Brie Bella. You heard me right. For the first time in several years, Brie Bella returned to WWE in ring action. The last time we saw her was actually in 2022, if I remember correctly, where she competed in the Women's Royal Rumble match at that point. And that match came about literally, I want to say 6-7 months post-COVID. Think about that. This was when fans filed in to a stadium for something that huge, which is crazy. And the return of Tiffany Stratton. The weird thing is that we expected someone like Bianca Belair to come back. We expected AJ Lee to come back, which we haven't seen AJ Lee since her and her team gained the victory over Team Asuka back in November inside War Games. So it is what it is. Obviously, yes, at some point we are going to see AJ Lee back in WWE. But funny thing is, Becky Lynch got eliminated. She got eliminated by Natalia, by Natty, and just moments ago, within the hour, took it to her Instagram story and blamed her elimination on everything. Adam Pearce, Natalia, the Maxine. She literally decided, she was like, I was never eliminated. My lawyers are biting to try to get this match restarted, and she even tried to get a better number in the Women's Royal Rumble match, and she entered the match at number 9, which is insane. But think about this: Lash Legend had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eliminations, which I believe is the most out of all of them. Right? Yeah. The most out of all of them, and she lasted a little over 30 minutes in the Women's Royal Rumble match. And even Charlotte Flair, she became practically the Iron Woman in the match, lasted almost an hour before being eliminated by Lash Legend, and it came down to the final 3: Liv Morgan, Sol Ruca, and Tiffany Stratton. Think about that. Think about that, guys. Sol Ruca enters the match at number 10 and goes the distance. So I think it's safe to say that Zarya is not going to be happy about that. But to be fair, I'll be right back, guys. Something's happening outside my room. I'll be right back. Alright, you guys, I'm back. Yeah, apparently my uncle's dog is just doing dog things. That's all. That's literally all it was. Anyway, moving on. How crazy, right? Sol Ruca enters the match at number 10, literally goes the distance, and she ultimately gets eliminated by Tiffany Stratton, and then it came down to the final 2. Think about this, right? All 3 women were on the apron. They went over the top, but they landed on the apron. So it was a race against. It wasn't just a race against. It wasn't a race against the time. It was a race against endurance. Who had more endurance to remain in the match? Sol Ruca did not, but neither did Tiffany Stratton, because Liv Morgan hit Stratton with Oblivion to win the Women's Royal Rumble match. And I think it's pretty safe to say that she's going after Stephanie Vaquer and the Women's World title. But think about this. With Raquel's match with Stephanie Vaquer this coming Monday on Raw in that Philadelphia street fight, what happens if Raquel becomes champion? What happens there? Does Liv Morgan go after Raquel Rodriguez and the Women's World title? Or does she go after Jade Cargill and the WWE Women's title? There are so many possibilities that can go with the idea of seeing, with the idea of Liv Morgan's road to WrestleMania, if you will. But honestly, I think at this point it was pretty well deserved for Liv Morgan, because throughout WWE's history, and actually throughout the history of the Women's Royal Rumble match, dating back to 2018, where we saw Asuka become the first ever winner, eliminating Nikki Bella. There have been quite a few who have headlined WrestleMania and won the women's title. Asuka tried and she failed. Becky Lynch pulled it off in 2019. Charlotte Flair pulled it off in 2020. Bianca Belair pulled it off in 2021. Rhea Ripley in 2023, Bayley in 2024. So 5 winners out of all the women's Rumble matches. 5 women have went on to win championships at WrestleMania. Asuka couldn't do it. Ronda Rousey couldn't do it. Charlotte Flair couldn't do it when she won her second Rumble, which was last year. So history is definitely on the side of Liv Morgan. But again, the question becomes: does she go after the women's world title or the WWE women's title? And also, let's say she goes after the women's world title. Is she gonna have to face Stephanie Vaquer, or is she gonna have to face her best friend Raquel Rodriguez? Honestly, the possibilities are out there, but we'll just have to wait and see. Speaking of historic, oh my god, I don't even want to talk about it. Honestly, I don't, but I kind of have to at the same time. Obviously, I'll be doing a story video on it later in the week, but Gunther versus AJ Styles. AJ's career was on the line. So fucking close. I was almost in tears when I saw what happened, and I literally was just like super upset, because you guys know I'm a huge AJ Styles fan. Obviously, the shirt speaks for itself. I've watched AJ Styles from his time from his time in TNA, leaving TNA because of well Dixie Carter, but the hell's on my face? But also throughout the 10 years that he had been in WWE, being the first ever TNA X Division champion in TNA history, going on to win multiple TNA X Division titles, 2 TNA World titles, tag titles. Excuse me. Winning two WWE titles, 3 US titles, winning the Intercontinental title, winning the tag team titles. AJ Styles has done it all. And I feel like AJ Styles still had a lot more left in the tank. But unfortunately, it did not come to pass, as Gunther made AJ Styles pass out, not tap out, pass out to the sleeper, giving Gunther the victory, forcing AJ Styles to retire. Honestly, I really don't know what to say. I honestly don't. Like, in my opinion, I feel like that we should have had a retirement tour for AJ Styles, because it would have capped off arguably one of the most, no pun intended, but one of the most phenomenal careers we have ever seen, ever. And Gunther is exactly who they say he is, and that is a career killer, and he is. He retired Goldberg in the summer last year. He retired John Cena last month in December. And now tonight was AJ Styles. All I can say is thank you, AJ. I feel like I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I might be the only person who wants to see AJ Styles become the new general manager of NXT, because we found out that Ava has officially left WWE, which is a bit unfortunate. But I'll be talking about that in a future video, probably on Monday, because tomorrow I'm actually going to be opening this up. Finally got my hands on the brand new Yu-Gi-Oh Chronicles deck, Spirit Charmers. I'm actually looking to pick up 2 more of these, so I can do a deck profile on this, because I really want to build Charmers. But there's still a lot. I still have to think of like a good like recipe for Charmers. So if you guys do have any sort of recipe for the Charmer deck with the new cards in this set, be sure to post them in the comments. But yeah, that'll be tomorrow's video. Shout outs to AJ Styles. Thank you, man, for such an incredible career. Who knows what's gonna happen next? There's been a lot of rumors that he could be going back to TNA for a little while, but others believe he's going to AEW. And honestly, I don't think anybody wants that. So yeah, Triple H, if you're watching this, put him in NXT, please. Speaking of NXT, the WWE title was defended between Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn, 2 former NXT champions in their own right. Let's just be real. History was on the side of Drew McIntyre. I mean, Sami Zayn came close, but it just was not enough. Like, I'm like, don't get me wrong. I wanted to see Sami Zayn become WWE champion, but it just wasn't his year. It just wasn't his night. And I think right now, as there's like literally a bunch of shit on my face, on my upper lip, we could be looking at a time in WWE for Sami Zayn where this has to be the year that he becomes a world champion. And if he doesn't, there's no telling what will be next for Sami Zayn. But Drew McIntyre hits Sami Zayn with several claymores, to retain the WWE title in the most dominant way possible. But that brings us to the men's Royal Rumble match, which is the main event. And the order of entry actually was very shocking, to say the very least, because the one who drew number 1 was Obafemi. He drew number 1. Braun Breaker drew number 2, which was spoiled during the countdown show by Adam Pearce, which was very funny. But after that, the moment Braun Breaker attempted to get into the ring, a masked assailant came out, jumped Breaker, and hit him with a stomp. Breaker went into the ring, and instantly, within seconds, got eliminated by Obafemi, which was super insane, absolutely insane. Paul Heyman was pissed off, but he knew that he still had 4 other chances of a member of the Vision to main event WrestleMania. He had Bronson Reed, he had Logan Paul, he had Austin Theory, and he had Brock Lesnar. Spoiler, all 5 members of the Vision, obviously Brock Lesnar, technically being a part of the Vision, were in the men's Royal Rumble. But the order of entry after Breaker went as follows: Solo Sikoa, Rey Mysterio, Rusev, Matt Cardona, Damian Priest, Javon Evans, Mr. Iguana from AAA, Trick Williams, Cody Rhodes, El Grande Americano, wait. You're probably asking yourself, wait a minute, didn't you just say that twice? I did. Yeah. So both versions of El Grande Americano showed up. Yeah, the one that we've seen in AAA. The one that we've seen have a lot of success in AAA, and then the original El Grande Americano that defeated.
Just waiting for the fries.
That defeated Rey Fenix at last year's WrestleMania. The current El Grande Americano got eliminated by the OG, and Trick Williams eliminated the OG. Pretty much, that's just that. Massive debut, WWE debut, if you will, of Powerhouse Hobbs, aka Royce Keys. I don't know why they called him Royce Keys. Would have been better as Powerhouse Hobbs, but it is what it is. Austin Theory, Bronson Reed, Ilya Dragunov. Speaking of AAA, La Barca, Dragon Lee, Logan Paul, the return of LA Knight, Brock Lesnar, The Miz, Rey Fenix, Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, Jacob Fatu, Penta, Randy Orton, and Gunther. Here's the thing, right? Like, we saw with AJ Styles, we thought that he was gonna put his gloves in the middle of the ring and ride off into the sunset. But he didn't. He put his gloves back on, did this, and threw up the too sweet, which asks multiple questions. Is AJ Styles really done? And is he really going to retire from WWE? Is he going to really retire from professional wrestling? Crazy as it sounds, I don't think he is. I think we're going to see AJ Styles in WWE again. But as far as when, who knows? Who knows? Maybe he'll show up. He'll show up this Monday on Raw. Who knows? But Obafemi had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He had 5 eliminations. Right? Yeah. He had 5 eliminations, which I believe is the most overall. Which is the most overall throughout the entire matchup. Before Obafemi ultimately got eliminated by Brock Lesnar, which is insane, absolutely crazy, nothing to be ashamed of for Obafemi. So I think it's pretty safe to say that Obafemi is going to have such a crazy run on the main roster. But it came down to the final 4. It came down to Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, Gunther, and Logan Paul. Logan Paul ended up getting eliminated by Roman Reigns. Gunther eliminated Randy Orton, and it came down to the final 2. Roman Reigns and Gunther. Gunther had Reigns in the sleeper numerous times before he got hit with the spear and got thrown over the top rope. And thus, ones to the sky for the OTC as Roman Reigns, for the second time in his career, wins the Royal Rumble match, making him, I believe, the 6th man to do it, to win multiple Royal Rumbles. I'm trying to think. Hogan was the first. Shawn was the second. Stone Cold was the third. In fact, Austin is the only 3-time winner to do it. Batista, John Cena, Randy Orton, Triple H, Cody Rhodes, and now Roman Reigns. So Roman Reigns is the 9th. He's actually the 9th person, the 9th man in the men's Royal Rumble match to win more than one Royal Rumble, which that right there is an elite group, because when you win the Royal Rumble at least a second time, you're guaranteed to win your match at WrestleMania. Either that, or you're guaranteed to etch your name into immortality. And thing is, and the irony of it is, with Roman Reigns having have had a historic run as WWE champion of 1,316 days, he already etched his name into immortality. So winning the Royal Rumble for the second time was just the icing on the cake. Now he has a very interesting decision. Does he go after CM Punk and the World Heavyweight title? Or does he go after Drew McIntyre and the WWE title? Honestly, it is a difficult decision for the OTC, because the thing is, Roman Reigns never got his rematch for the WWE title after losing the title to Cody at WrestleMania a couple of years ago. He never got his rematch at all. Not one rematch whatsoever. And plus, if he chooses Drew McIntyre, he gets his rematch. He gets his rematch for said WWE title, and he'll have main evented WrestleMania for the 11th time in his illustrious career, which is mind-boggling, absolutely mind-boggling. But if he goes after CM Punk, he could potentially become an Ultimate Grand Slam champion, because he's already won the Royal Rumble. He's won an Elimination Chamber. He's won the WWE title. He's won the Universal title. He's won the US title, the Intercontinental title, the tag team titles. The only things that are left for him to do is win King of the Ring, Money in the Bank, and the World Heavyweight title. Those are the only three things that Roman Reigns has left to do before he can call himself an Ultimate Grand Slam winner. And the only other person that's just one accolade away from doing that is Sheamus, because he's done everything except become Intercontinental Champion. So maybe this year will finally be the year that Sheamus does win that title. But moving back with Roman Reigns, if he goes after CM Punk and the world title, he can settle the score from last year. And if you guys do not remember, Paul Heyman chose to abide with CM Punk's favor that he was owed. By accompanying Punk to the ring to the main event of last year's WrestleMania on night 1, which was Punk versus Rollins versus Roman Reigns, three of the biggest stars on the planet going at it in a triple threat for bragging rights to see who truly is the best of the best. And that night, it was Seth Rollins. So a lot of options for the OTC, but such little time. And on that note, that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel, you guys want more premium live event predictions and results in the future, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my @s will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.